But I mean, like, where was I going with that? Hey guys, it's Olivia and I'm back with another video. So I don't know why, but recently I've been thinking about the friends that I have and why I'm friends with them. And I was realizing that some friends that I have, I don't necessarily have a lot in common with. And then others, I have a lot more in common with, but yet I'm equally as close to both groups. And then I started to figure out how these two things came to be. So I started to realize that a lot of the friends I met years ago, like way back in the 3rd grade, I don't have that much in common with. But the friends that I recently met, like in high school, I do have a lot in common with, which sounds kind of backwards, but I think I figured out why. So when you're like in kindergarten and you meet someone, like you're like, oh my gosh, your favorite color is blue too? Oh my gosh, best friends. Like, that's literally how it is. It's so simple. You literally just have to have one thing in common and then you're automatically friends. And it could be something as simple as your favorite color. It could be that you're both the same age, even though obviously you're both the same age because you're both in the same grade. But like when you're 4, you don't make that connection. So you're like, oh my gosh, you're 4 years old too? What? Friendship. Or you might be like, oh, both of our birthdays are in the same month, or we both live in the same neighborhood, hence why we go to the same school. But once again, you're 4, so you don't clue in. So you're like, oh my gosh, all these amazing things that we have in common, not realizing how shallow they are. Like favorite color, we live in the same area, we go to the same school. Like, you don't realize how small those things are. But then as you get older, your relationships become more complex and there's more to it when you're starting a relationship with someone. Like, you can't just be like, oh, you like blue too? Cool. Like, it doesn't work that way. You can't just have one little thing in common. Like, yes, you could have one big thing in common and that's what buds your friendship, but if you just like the same color, like nowadays, when you're, I don't mean like nowadays like in 2017, I mean like as you get older, it doesn't really mean anything. Like, yeah, that's cool, you have a good sense of colorness, but I really don't care, you know what I mean? So like, people I meet now, we have to have more in common than that. We have to maybe like the same music, like the same sports, maybe we like the same shows, and then like every Tuesday we talk about that show that we watched on Monday, and every Thursday we talk about that show that we both watch on Wednesday. You know what I mean? Like, you have to have things to talk about more than just like, I like blue because the sky is blue and like some flowers are blue and like water is blue, and like, yeah, you can't just talk about blue all the time because you're not 4, you're like 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, you know what I mean? Like, you're older and more things matter than just, you can't just talk about that one topic all the time, you know what I mean? And so one thing that I started to think about that was kind of scary is that those friends that I met back in like the 3rd grade, if I had met them in high school, would I be friends with them? And like, I don't know why. Or like, would they be friends with me? Would they think that I'm like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, how I'm saying, oh, I only liked you back then because you liked blue and I liked blue too. Well, it goes the same from them to me. They liked me because I liked blue, you know what I mean? So it's like, nowadays, if I had met them on the first day of school in grade 9, would I have wanted to be their friend, or would they have wanted to be my friend? So it's like, are we only friends because we met when we were young? And I don't know why that came to me. And I don't know why I'm thinking about this. It just kind of came up in my mind, like, and this is a recent thing because I keep like notes in my phone of my video ideas, And this video idea, I'm pretty sure I came up with it yesterday. Let me just check my phone. I came up with it yesterday at 9:04 p.m. Yeah, and so, like, this is a very recent thing. This wasn't, like, a well thought out video per se, but it was just something that was on my mind and I needed to, like, talk about it. Because, like, I don't regret any of the relationships that I have, even though we might not be completely similar. Because it's like, because we're not similar, there are things that I experience because of them and things that they experience because of me. For example, like in the 10th and 11th grade, I took jazz. Jazz was never really my thing. I've been playing classical piano since I was 6, so I'm like into classical music and I really enjoy classical music. And so like my friends were saying that they were taking jazz in grade 10, and then I took it because they were taking it, and I loved jazz class. So it's like I got to experience something that I probably wouldn't have because of the people that were in my life at that time. And there are friends that I have that might not be the most athletic, but like they tried out for sports teams and stuff simply because I told them to. Or not told them to, simply because I suggested it. You know what I mean? So it's like, even though we're not similar, we still influenced each other. And so I'm not saying now that I'm realizing our friendship is based off shallow stuff that I don't want to be your friend anymore, because we do have all this history that isn't completely shallow. Like for the past 9 years, we weren't talking about blue. Like we developed an actual friendship. But it just makes me think, like, depending on when you meet people could depend on whether or not they become a part of your life. Like some people who I'm incredibly close to, if I met them a year later, maybe we wouldn't be. And that is scary for me, because also the relationships that you have influence your future relationships. Like for example, I feel like mostly girls do this, but like you'll be like, oh my gosh, you hate Tiffany too, oh my, we're friends. Like, you know how you like become friends with someone over a mutual hatred for someone else? And no offense to anybody named Tiffany, I don't know any Tiffany's in my personal life, that's just why I chose that name. But yeah, you know what I mean? Like you both hate the same person, so you bond over that, you know what I mean? And so it's like, but maybe, so let's say I met Brittany because we both hated Tiffany, but what if I had met Tiffany first? So now, however many years later, me and Tiffany don't talk because me and Brittany, my friend, don't like her. But if I had met Tiffany first, then maybe me and Tiffany would be friends and I wouldn't talk to Brittany. You know what I mean? So I don't regret any of the relationships that I have, but maybe because of some of the relationships that I have, there were other relationships that I didn't get the opportunity to have. And it's just like, there's all these what ifs. And I'm not discontented with the people who are in my life thus far. Like I hope that I still have a lot more life to live. I'm not discontented with the people who I have in my life, but I'm just thinking, maybe if I met you a day later, I would have met this person instead, and maybe we wouldn't have been friends, and maybe I would have had this relationship, and I don't know why, but I'm just thinking about all these what ifs. And it's not because I'm discontented with my current situation and I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish that I met someone else on the first day of grade 4 instead of you. It's not like that. I'm just thinking, like, in life there's so many different possibilities. Like if you are standing here and you see a group of friends over here and a group of friends over here, depending on who you decide to approach can change the rest of your life. And that's like, what if you make the wrong decision? And you'll never know whether or not, like, I don't think there's any right or wrong decision, and you can never know whether or not you made the best decision. Because if I'm in the middle and then there's person here, person there, and I decide to approach this person, well then now my life goes this way. But if I had chosen this person, then now my life goes this way. But once you choose a path, you will never know what the other path would have been. So you can't know if the other path would have been better or worse. So you don't know whether or not you made the right decision. There's no right decision. And I don't know why this came to me, but it's a little scary knowing that one decision can create so many other decisions, and who you decide to include in your life today could also influence who you include in your life 10 years from now. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just thinking, like, there are some people, like, as I've already said so many times previously in this video, I am happy with everybody in my life. But it scares me to think that maybe they wouldn't have been a part of my life if I didn't meet them in grade 3. If I met them in grade 12, because of the things that we don't have in common, we would have never been friends. Because we have more things not in common than we have things in common. Because since we met when we were young and all we cared about was that we had the same favorite color, we were friends. But if we met when we were older, when we care about more than what your favorite color is, we might not have been friends. Or maybe we would have been friends because of, like people say, opposites attract. So maybe we would have been friends regardless. But then at the same time, we wouldn't have had all that history to like solidify that friendship. I don't know. I don't even know where I'm going, because as I said, this video wasn't necessarily planned. I came up with this idea yesterday and then decided to film it today. Like, usually I come up with an idea like weeks in advance and then film it. And like, let's say I do come up with an idea Sunday, I usually don't film it to upload the next day on that particular Monday. But I don't know, this one, I was just like scrolling through my phone, scrolling through my video ideas, and this was the one that I wanted to film. So I don't even know. This one doesn't like have a point like my videos usually do, like a lesson or just like, this is my opinion, like straight up, take it or leave it, you know what I mean? It's not like that. It's just like me sorting through my thoughts, and you got to see it happen, so yeah. I hope it gave you something to think about. I don't want you to start questioning your friendships and questioning whether or not you chose the right people from the get-go. Like, oh, did I make the right life decision when I was 7? Like, how do you know that when you're 7? You know what I mean? Like, you can't, I don't know. I don't want you to start questioning the relationships you have. But I don't know, this was just something that came to my mind and something that I wanted to share, because it's like one decision can influence your whole life. It can influence the people that are in your life, and depending on who you have in your life can depend on what you end up doing. Because if you have these people, you might experience this. But if you have these people, you might experience that. And so it's like different people, like you chose this road at the beginning, but like now with this other person that you're friends with, they can take you down all of these other different roads. And so, I don't know, depending on who you choose can change your life, and it's amazing yet scary. So that's all for this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. All my social media links will be down below in case you want to follow me on there. Be sure to subscribe to my channel because I make new videos every Monday. If you would like to see more of me, subscribe to my vlog channel because I upload there every day. And I'll see you on this channel next Monday.